Hello, readers. I am actually thoroughly surprised at a question I am repeatedly asked by readers, and that is, did this story, Underwood 5, really happen? Okay, so I made it very clear this is a fictional novel. It's not nonfiction, this is fiction. And I have talked a little bit previously on videos and my website and things like that, what inspired the story. It was a writing prompt, inspired this story. I used to visit antique shops a lot. I talk about that in my Q&A. And yes, there were things that happened in real life that inspired it. I also was a big fan of paranormal shows and paranormal books, so that absolutely could have influenced this book as well. But as far as this being something that actually happened, I never, that's not the case. Which is kind of funny because there are plenty of readers who keep asking me this. It's an ongoing theme to ask me, did this really happen? Did you ever buy a typewriter that typed by itself? Who is Rachel Mallory? Did you know her? These are funny questions. Now, some readers are kind of assuming that Rachel Mallory is based on me. That's not the case at all. I'm not saying that someday I won't write a character that might be based on myself, but Rachel Mallory is not one of those characters. She's her own character in this story. She's very different than me. Very, very different. And certainly, she was not inspired by myself buying a magical typewriter. I mean, that would be a pretty fun notion that I'd buy a typewriter and it would do all these mystical things, but no, that never happened. And I'm still very surprised by it. I can't help but be surprised how many readers ask me that. And it's ongoing. Very often they will ask me, did this really happen? But I assure you it's completely fictional. Now, as far as this being possible, the reality of ghosts being possible, I don't hold anybody's beliefs against them. I always wonder, maybe there's more things in this world than we understand. I did see a documentary about objects that could be haunted by spirits. And in a way, I'm sure that influenced my novel. I used to have fun watching those shows. So, yes, I'm not saying you know, am excluding the possibility that ghost exists in this world. But I just think it's pretty funny because I never said that this was inspired by a real ghost. Now, again, I did a lot of research in the Edwardian era, and Clara Lofton was inspired by things I read. I've always been intrigued by that era. And yes, in a way, she's like a glimpse into the past. I always enjoy reading the past and seeing pictures, and there was people who lived before us. So yes, all that is fascinating to me. And Underwood 5, the typewriter, I did a lot of research on that typewriter. And like I said, there were conversations and things that happened at antique shops that inspired the first chapter. But again, this is more like inspired by things that happened. This is not a documented account of myself or anyone I knew purchasing a typewriter. I admit the notion is kind of intriguing. I could imagine somebody asking, well, are you just writing something down that you lived or something? But no, that is not the case. This is entirely fictional, and it was a lot of fun to write. And I've always been fascinated by writing ghost stories. I like legends, I like ghost stories, and I'll read about them. And I like writing them. Edgar Allan Poe, he wrote some ghost stories I found very interesting. I also like fantasy. I enjoy reading and writing fantasy. But yes, this was a fictional novel. So I do not have a typewriter hidden in my home that types by itself.